Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something really cool. A source that's basically an endless debate between three AI experts. And get this, they've been tasked with solving what feels like an impossible marketing problem.
So, what's this all about? The product at the heart of it is THCa. And its legal status here in the US? It's a total mess. A chaotic patchwork of state and federal rules that seem to change every other day. So you can see, this isn't just some simple marketing puzzle. It's more like a high-stakes tightrope walk.
Okay, so to tackle this, the source sets up three unique AI personas to debate the best strategy. Think of it like a brain trust. First up, you've got the PR specialist, who's all about trust and public perception. Then there's the regulatory wizard. This one's laser-focused on compliance and avoiding legal risks. And finally, the market analyst, who's obsessed with data and consumer behavior. As you can imagine, each one brings a completely different but totally essential angle to the problem.
All right, let's get into our first section. So, where does this whole debate even start? Well, before they can even think about a solution, the AIs have to get on the same page about just how big this problem is. And they kick things off by looking at it through the eyes of the regulatory wizard.
And right off the bat, the one thing all the AIs could agree on was just how incredibly difficult this landscape is. I mean, we're not just talking about one single issue here. You've got this wild patchwork of state laws, you have the FDA constantly looking over your shoulder, and you've got this huge risk of making a claim that some regulator decides is insufficiently substantiated. It really is a minefield of legal and regulatory hurdles. Now, what's really interesting here is that this isn't just some theoretical what-if scenario. The regulatory wizard immediately points to the real world, specifically the CBD industry. A bunch of companies there got into some serious hot water for making exactly these kinds of claims. So this really sets the stage for the whole debate. The danger is absolutely real, and the old marketing playbook, it's completely useless here. Okay, let's move on to the next section. With the problem laid out so clearly, the AI debaters pretty much instantly ditched traditional marketing ideas. They knew that a standard approach wasn't just going to fail, it would be a total disaster. So they had to pivot, and fast, to find something safer and more sustainable. So yeah, that old playbook of just making bold, aggressive claims about your product, it's completely off the table, gone. In an environment this tricky, that's not even marketing anymore. It's basically just asking for trouble.
So what do they do instead? Well, the PR specialist steps up and champions a whole new strategy, what they call an education-first approach. The whole goal shifts. You're not just trying to sell a product anymore. You're trying to build long-term trust, and you do that through things like radical transparency, building a real community, having super clear risk management, and, well, positioning the brand as a responsible leader in the industry, not just another company trying to make a buck.
And now for our third section. Just when you think they've cracked it, right? Education first. Sounds great. But then the debate takes another sharp turn. The market analyst jumps in and says, hold on a second. They argue that just educating people, well, it's not going to be enough.
The analyst brings up a fantastic point. They ask, in a market where every single state has different rules, how can one single educational message possibly be enough? I mean, think about it. A message that's totally fine and legal in, say, Colorado could be a massive legal disaster just one state over. It's a huge problem.
And the analyst's answer? It's one word: data. The idea is that education is great, but it has to be powered by intelligence. What does that mean? It means using data to create hyper-localized campaigns, tailoring your message to each state's laws. It means segmenting your audience. You don't talk to early adopters the same way you talk to the general public. And it means being smart about your channels, focusing on things you own, like newsletters and forums. It's all about making your educational content both precise and safe.
And this, right here, is where the idea gets really brilliant. It evolves. Suddenly, it's not just about what you're saying anymore. It's about how you say it, where you say it, and maybe most importantly, who you're saying it to. So the new goal becomes clear. You have to marry that trust-first approach from the PR specialist with the super agile, data-driven deployment from the market analyst.
So, that brings us to our final section, the synthesis. This is where it all comes together. All three of those AI perspectives. You've got the cautious regulator, the trust-building PR specialist, and the data-driven analyst. They all converge and create a single, really powerful, holistic solution.
What they come up with is something they call a unified intelligence system, and the best way to think about it is like the brand's central nervous system for every single thing it communicates. It's a centralized platform that's constantly pulling in all these different streams of data, regulatory updates, public sentiment, market analytics, and using it all to make smart, and more importantly, safe decisions on the fly.
And you can see here how each AI's big idea becomes a crucial piece of this system. The regulatory wizard contributes its regulatory radar, which is basically on 24/7 watch for any legal changes. The PR specialist provides the trust-first framework, which shapes all the messaging. And the market analyst brings in the layered intelligence, which makes sure that message gets to the exact right people, in the exact right way. It's a perfect blend.
But here's the thing. This isn't just some passive monitoring tool. Not at all. It's a proactive system. We're talking about using predictive analytics to spot trouble before it even happens. It can dynamically change the content based on real-time data. It makes sure every single claim is backed up by evidence. And this part is absolutely crucial. It always keeps a human expert in the loop to make the final judgment call. It's built to do three things at once: navigate complexity, build trust, and stay compliant.
So what's the ultimate takeaway from this whole AI debate? It's that when you're marketing in a minefield like this, you need a completely new way of thinking. Marketing isn't about clever ads and catchy slogans anymore. It has to evolve into something much bigger, a holistic, intelligence-driven strategy that fuses legal, PR, and data into one seamless operation.
And that really leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question to chew on. Is the strategy, which came out of an AI debate about one specific product, THCa, is it actually a blueprint for the future of all high-stakes marketing? You know, for any industry that's facing a web of complex rules, intense public scrutiny, and a desperate need to build consumer trust, is this kind of intelligent system not just a good idea, but an absolute necessity?